Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Man, I almost immediately choked at the start of the video. How weird was that? Okay, we're gonna play a bit of Phoenix Wright until lunchtime. I may or may not be back after lunch. We'll have to see. But for now, a bit of Phoenix Wright. Let's do let's figure out this murder, which we've already kind of figured out a little bit of. Okay, I still think that Elise Nim is related to Dahlia Hawthorne in some way. Mother, grandma, I don't know, something like that, right? I'm pretty sure we talked to Gumshoe last time and got everything we were going to get out of him. Did we pick up anything interesting? Body fell 10 foot after death. It almost certainly implies it fell out of that window. Has he got anything else to say about it? Let's throw him a few things. Okay. Let's see if he's got any further information. Soul represents the multiple branches that life can take, all ending as one. I've never heard that one. You know what I think about sometimes? What kind of life would I have if I hadn't joined the homicide division? You think about that kind of thing too, huh? Of course I do. I think about it a lot. Me as a traffic cop, me as a detention officer, me as the blue badger. I guess he doesn't have any plans to leave the force. Oh, so I think I might have already told you about this, but the truth is, when I was... Oh yeah, you wanted to become a wizard. You wanted to become a wizard, right? Hey, that's amazing. How did you know that? So what do you think? I'd make a really great one, don't you think? We just had this conversation a little while ago, Detective. Did we show him that? Okay. Definitely showed him the other stuff. We do now have bikini in the evidence. This is the witness who saw the crime take place out there in the temple courtyard. I'm pretty sure it's going to be her testimony that'll be key to this case, sir. So you mean she's going to be a witness in the trial tomorrow? Of course! Oh, she's going to be the witness tomorrow, great. And then it's as trustworthy as you can get. We got this one in the bag. Oh, I mean, I've always been on your side, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. So yeah, this is a pretty tight spot we've gotten ourselves into, huh? Now I understand why Wright is always breaking into a cold sweat. Okay. We're going to find Larry Butts again. He's managed to escape without us breaking his Cyclops. Aha! Ah, Mr. Edgeworth. I came back because I need to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. But I've already told you everything that I... Iris, please remember, I'm on your side. You can tell me anything. Yes, thank you. Tell me all your secrets, Iris. I just finished speaking with the head nun of Hazakura Temple. She testified very clearly as to what happened. She said she saw you stab Miss Elise Durnin with a sword. And one other thing. She said that when Maya Fey began her training at the Inner Temple, you were there as well. What? Oh, what if they're sisters, though? There's still a chance that, like, she's like Dahlia Hawthorne's twin, and Dahlia is also running around pretending to be her, right? Because what if this is the real fucking Iris, and then the one that Phoenix Wright bumped into going to the toilet was Dahlia? And then this Iris was the one at the inner temple. Depending what she's about to say to me. And the other Dahlia did the murder. Are you going to say you were at the inner temple or not? That's kind of what I need to know to accept or discard that theory. And yet, Sister Bikini says she met with you at the inner temple that very night. Because it wouldn't make sense for Dahlia to be the one at the inner temple, would it? Oh, unless Dahlia did the murder, fled across the bridge to the inner temple, and is still there with Maya. Oh. Oh. But that still hugely undermines the 11 p.m. time frame Sister Bikini set, right? Because that would have to happen at like 10 o'clock. No later than 10 past for her to get to the bridge and get over there before it's struck by lightning, right? Although she could have like used skis or something to get there a bit quicker. Even so, like 11 p.m. is way too late. The bridge would have been burned down. But I didn't go there. I didn't go to the inner temple last night. Looks like she's unwilling to tell me the whole truth. I wonder if I'll find the answers I'm looking for if I break those psycho locks. Yeah, I think we're going to have to try and smash your locks open. It's probably the only way we're going to learn anything about this. So we're going to present the Magatama.
Take that!
Since I have been handed this case, it is my duty to dig up all the answers. Understand? Yes, sir. The smallest flame can sometimes bathe a case in a whole new light. In my years in court, I've seen it happen over and over again. That's why I'm committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really true that you didn't go to the inner temple last night? Yes, I swear I already told you that. Yes, you said you didn't go because you were frightened. That's right. If that's the case, then the obvious question is, what were you so afraid of? Iris, I wonder. Is this what frightened you so much that you couldn't even leave your own room? Phoenix, right? I mean, there's a few fucking things. Oh, the lightning. Wait. Is she just scared of lightning? Some people are shit scared of lightning, right? That's the thing. There's probably a word for it, like the lightningophobia. What is the phobia of lightning called? It's an interesting one. How do I not know this word? I can't type on my phone at all. Astrophobia. Wild. Astrophobia, also known as astropophobia, brontophobia, that's a weird one. Seronophobia or tonitrophobia. It's a fear of thunder and lightning. That's true. I guess really they're more scared of the thunder than the lightning, right? It's the sound. Astrophobia comes from the ancient Greek astrape, meaning thunder. Obviously phobos, meaning fear. Huh. Interesting. It's one of those things as well, like Wikipedia notes dogs and cats can have it as well. You don't often think of like animals having phobias, but dogs do sort of shit themselves when it's thunder and lightning as well. But they're also scared of fireworks. I think it's just the noise, right? The noise concerns them because it's unusual. Okay, so maybe she has astrophobia. Let's find out if that's the case. Perhaps this is what you were afraid of. Well, it's not, is it? Damn it! That was such a good theory. Why is your voice trembling like that? It's just that your eyes are scaring me. Okay. So, were you just scared of Phoenix?
Take that!
No? Oh, God. Okay. So, is she scared of the blackmail? Okay, we've lost like half our life already. Was it the blackmail letter that scared you?
Take that!
Aha, it was the blackmail letter. Okay. A little bit more literal than perhaps I was expecting. I found this in the main hall. It is addressed to you. Well, Iris, why are you glaring at me like that? You are scared of the blackmailer who wrote this to you, isn't that correct? Is it the evidence or the power of my glare that broke that lock? Oh well, I don't suppose it matters either way. But Mr. Edgeworth... Yes? I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me. Then why were you so scared of it, bitch? A prank? Well, yes. After all, even if I did have a secret, there's no one to tell it to that would cause me any grief. I wonder about that. Mr. Bikini is like a mother to me. This is true. Who are they going to reveal the secret to? We assume Elise Denim is like the mother. Maybe someone else is the blackmailer then. Maybe Sister Bikini is the blackmailer. We kind of need to know if this... I mean, this is Dahlia, right? It's got to be. Dahlia, she's dyed her hair. I would never hide anything from her. No, you may not have anything to hide under normal circumstances. However, last night was different. Fortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret yet. However, whatever it is, there is one person you didn't want your secret told to. Either Phoenix Wright or Elise Denim, and I'm assuming we're going for Elise Denim, the victim. Well, Iris? Redworth, is it just possible that maybe you yourself have a deep dark secret in your heart? Shit. Okay. Okay, look. Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright. You mean something to Mr. Wright, it seems. And I can tell he holds a special place in your heart as well. What? That's why you didn't want him of all people to know your deep dark secret. Well, what do you have to say? I should have expected as much. Especially from a friend of his. Fucking weird. After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it. What is this heavenly hall the letter mentions? It's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusky Bridge. A small shack, huh? It's more like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near. Where is it on this map? Around here. To get there, you must follow a small path from Dusky Bridge. I mean, it's not like we could have fucking just followed the path. There was a signpost and everything. Like, it's so dumb that we couldn't go there without getting this information out of it. Reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge. Or is there some sort of underground tunnel connecting the two? The thought that such a terrible criminal could be lurking at Heavenly Hall. What? I was so scared by the whole affair that I didn't even want to think about it. What? So this is the secret that you locked away in your heart? Yes. It's as though I may have to visit this Heavenly Hall now. Maybe I'll find some sign of our mystery blackmailer. In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night. Yes, that's exactly right. Trial starts tomorrow. I promise you I will win. I'm going to win so that you and Phoenix Wright can see each other again. What? But when I do, you must promise me that you will tell him your secret. It's pointless. Why would you say that? Because I may know who Phoenix Wright is. What? But he has no idea who I am. What? What are you talking about? It's getting pretty weird now. Oh my god, there's a picture of Larry Butts. Has Larry Butts been living here? Whoa, not much of a view down here, huh? Still better than the view from my apartment, though. Someone's here. Hide yourself, detective. Flag check? Two UK flags? Why? Why does this always happen? Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. I even chased one of them to Japan. Next is going to be prison, I guess. Steal that detective's wallet. That'll get me locked up for sure. Nah, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down in his luck. Just talking to himself. Shh, be quiet and listen. I knew it. I shouldn't have done that. Blew it again. Done that? What did he do, I wonder? Hey, you, about what you just said. I got an objection. What? What the? Edgy, you dirty rat. Gumshoe, you oaf. Sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was just shouting out objection. And in a loud, commanding voice, too. I even pointed with my pointer finger. You've watched too many trials. Sorry. Okay, Larry, the jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? Hold on, we're going to do a flag check real quick. United Kingdom. I guess Ireland, but it's not the only place that has that flag, right? There's more than one that has green, yellow, and green, white, orange. Although that looks yellow, which I'm pretty sure no flag has like a pale yellow like that. At least not one that I'm aware of. South Korea, I think. Greece, Switzerland, Japan, obviously the US. And presumably France, although are they the only one with that? Germany, Canada, I want to say Russia, and then the UK again. Oh, and there's some more over here. Oh look, well that's Italy, USA again, Japan again, and presumably Switzerland again. And a lot of flag repetition there. I feel like they could have they could have stuck to some more unique. I mean, where's Spain, for God's sake? You know, I feel like we're missing some stuff here. What's the other country that has the same flag as Ireland? I can't think what it is. I'm sure there is one that has. They literally have the exact same flag. Okay, let's have a poke around before we speak to Larry. What is this festive-looking ornament? Oh, dude, it reminds me of art class in grade school. We used to have a lot of fun decorating the classroom with origami, remember? Well, Oh yeah, you were never any good at it. Really? Yeah, this guy was so bad he couldn't even fold $1, let alone a crane. Everyone tried to comfort him, but he would just sit there sobbing. Oh god. Be quiet already. I'll never forget the shame of that day. You want a crane? I can now make a perfect 1/4-inch crane without a single flaw. No, Edgy. Nothing for nothing, but a 1/4-inch crane without a single flaw. It's not easy. Yeah, it's quite a feat, Prosecutor Edgeworth. This is exactly why I hate childhood friends. Huh, this is downriver from the bridge? Interesting. This is the Eagle River, sir. It runs pretty fast, so it doesn't ice over even in the winter. If it had ice over, Wright would have been in some serious trouble. You're right about that. He would have landed on the ice and slid downstream to who knows where. Not exactly what I meant, but all right. Let's go all the way to Dusky Bridge. It's a pretty long but easy walk. Ah, long but easy. So somebody with a bad back could do it. I fell down 4 times on my way down here, sir. Oh, sorry about that, Detective. I ate 4 bananas and tossed their peels on the stairs on my way down here. What a dick. What an absolute dick. What? So that's what I was slipping on. Careful on the way back, those deadly banana peels are still out there. That's a really important piece of information right there, Mr. Edgeworth. Is it? That he threw banana peels on the stairs? Depends when he did it. The straw roof is totally covered with freshly fallen powdery snow. Wow, makes a nice image, doesn't it? I always did like the rustic look. Heavenly Hall. I suppose it's an appropriate name in some sense. You got that right. Look at that bridge up there. This place has to be heaven because that thing is hell. You would do well to remember, Larry, that this is a sacred place to some people. That's a horrible graffiti problem you got there, pal. You don't know anything, Detective. This is art. It's an expression of my bittersweet love for Iris. Larry, do you know what the difference between graffiti and true art is? It's how the artist himself defines it, right? I should have seen that one coming. If that's the case, then all of my lunchboxes are masterpieces too, pal. It's a little far, but I have a pretty clear view of Dusky Bridge from here. Interesting. I don't want to overthink it. But I do, having played a lot of Hitman, if I was going to set up like some fakery, you could absolutely wait for the lightning and fire off a flare shot from here and hit the bridge. Right? I still can't believe it, man. Really? What is it, Larry? Nothing. It's nothing. Sounds pretty suspicious to me. Something about that statement smells, and you know what they say. They say save before you try and break 5 Cyclocks. What is this little shack, anyway? Well, I just discovered it myself yesterday. And why were you down here in the first place? Oh, come on, I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. This is a great little place. It's, artistic. It's quiet, it's cold, it's got no power, and it looks like it's about to collapse. Sounds a lot like my apartment there, pal. One thing's for sure, no one is likely to show up and disturb you here. So, can I get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe? He's getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir. Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You gotta save Iris. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Watch your mouth, man. Anyway, I've made up my mind about it. I'm going to marry that girl. Mr. Adrian was just pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No, not yet. But I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick would be surprised. He'd never imagined that I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If we really want to know the answer to that, we're going to have to drag him onto the witness stand. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you and what were you doing last night? Let's just lock him in the hut and play Where Were You Last Night by Nightwish hundreds of times until he goes insane. Oh man, don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Okay, chill out with those scary eyes, I got it. You really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible? Yeah, but let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days, especially with him? I want a point where we can reload from, that we don't have to skip a load of conversation. Right. Present. Magatama.
Take that!
Take this, Larry. If something smells, it's usually the butts. It's time to find out what's hiding in your butt. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. Whoa, you're like really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. Around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I'd been sleeping, I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing, the world in front of me went white. Like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend Naomi. And then, it was on fire. The bridge was on fire. Was the bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes? Hey, why are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth. There are still 3 Psycholots remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? What do you swear you say? What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room by the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? What do you mean there? It's impossible for you to have seen the lightning strike. To have seen lightning strike Dusky Bridge from your room. Map? Map of place? Map of place? Do we not have map? Ah, there we go. Yeah, you can't see the bridge from Hazakura Temple. We assume.
Take that!
This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it's impossible to see the bridge from here. What? Why didn't you tell me that before? Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? It looks like it won't be this easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then, where were you? You don't know that I wasn't in my room. So where was Larry and why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed lightning striking Dusky Bridge from was... It's going to be the hall or the temple. The hall seems more likely, but why would he not say that he was here? So, because I'm thinking I wouldn't put it past him to sneak to the inner temple to spy on Maya, or because he saw Fanny Face, what's her name? Iris. Maybe he saw Iris heading to the inner temple and was like, ho 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 ho. And so he crept over there. But Heavenly Hall, we know, has a clear view of it.
Take that!
Let's try Heavenly Hall. The place you saw the lightning strike from was naturally Heavenly Hall. Why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold, there's no electricity, and it could fall apart at any minute. Larry, how do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. I have to admit, I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. That's nice. Now tell me, what were you doing at this cold little shack last night? That's what you might call a fait accompli. I think you mean a fait accompli. Could it be that you were waiting for someone? Oh no! You really are one scary guy, you know. I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come and meet you. Mr. Nim? Or... It's either Elise or Iris, right? He could feasibly have been waiting for either of them, and both of them didn't show because one got murdered and the other one claimed to have stayed in their room but could have also been at the inner temple. Which one? Here's my logic. Elise and him. Larry's kind of smitten with her, is calling himself Lois Denim or whatever. He asked her to come meet him for whatever reason, romantic Larry Butch shenanigans. That's why she was out in the snow. She got murdered. After the fact, he's like, oh shit, now that looks like I lured her, I better not say anything about it. Right? That's pretty good. Alternatively, it's Iris. Same thing, only he now thinks maybe she did a murder on the way. And again, he's like, maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm gonna go with Elise first. Because I think she's more likely to have agreed to meet with him. Although, was she just out looking for Pearl? Because she did arrange to spend time with Pearl. So maybe I'm overthinking it and it is just Iris. Because there's a picture of the Iris on the door. He was obviously trying to, I guess, set it up as some sort of love nest. We'll go Iris first. And if it's not Iris and I've talked myself out of... the thing is, sometimes if you think too hard about this and get like the right answer before you're supposed to get the right answer, then it's just the wrong answer. Which is kind of what I hate about games that do this, where it's like they don't accept either answer. Like sometimes you have to... We had this in Chicken Police where we had to give a wrong answer in order to get to the right answer later. Because we just sort of jumped ahead and figured out something we shouldn't have figured out. So maybe we are meant to say it's Iris, but later on it'll be Elise. I don't know. Let's go with Iris for now. But this is the point. I end up second guessing myself, right? Because you have to consider both the right and the wrong answers. This is the problem that I have when doing deductive games that don't factor that sort of shit in. And I kind of hate it. That's why I like deductive games that do allow you to, like, okay, you figured out the correct answer early, but we'll accept it because you figured it out. Right? Those kind of games are really good, but they're few and far between, you know? You don't find many games that are smart enough to allow you to figure them out quickly, if that makes sense. And I guess because, like, especially like for this game, it's obviously like the game is not really the deduction; it's the narrative. You know, it's a visual novel. It's a visual novel, is what this game is. Okay. There's only one place you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry. I mean, that is also true. But I mean, he's a poonhound. He would wait for Elise and him. Hell, I would wait for Elise and him in a place like this. She's all right. I'd wait for her. I told you before, don't call me Larry. The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Edgy. No doubt because of my chilly glare. So you think I got the hots for Sister Iris, huh? Do you have some kind of evidence? What, other than the fact that you've painted a giant picture of on the front of the hut? You got something that proves I was waiting for her, or were you just guessing? This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here's the evidence that proves you were waiting for Iris. Could it be that it's not really blackmail? The thing is, this doesn't sound like Larry, does it? Salutation? Salutation here? I mean, that almost sounds like a template. like, insert name, right? There is something I must talk to you about. There is rather than theirs. I'll be waiting for you tonight at 10 at Heavenly Hall. I mean, that he's the only one that would have been there. It has to be written by him. Make sure you come unless you want your secret to be exposed. Is the secret just something dumb like, you love me? And secret is in, like, quotations as well. What would he know about her? There's no way he's figured out she's Dahlia Hawthorne. So what would the secret be? I mean, it has to be him that wrote the note. Just because of the I'll be waiting for you tonight at 10 o'clock at Heavenly Hall. Because otherwise, someone would have arrived at Heavenly Hall to meet with her, assuming it was empty, and would have found Larry Butts there, right?
Take that!
Here's your evidence. You called her to this spot with a pathetic blackmail letter. Oh, hey, give that back. You're embarrassing me, man. What are you doing with that anyway? That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. What do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says salutation here. Well, that's what it said in that book letter writing for dummies. I fucking told you it was a template. You're not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris. Whoa, I'm so sorry, man. That's a big save. Okay, Larry, spill the beans. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry, Edgy. Sorry doesn't cut it, you scumbag. Threatening a young lady like that. Wait, hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what, you tried to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Did someone add that? Or is it just we're going to find out that just Larry's an idiot? Unless you want your secret to be exposed? That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. Give me a break. It's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love? What did you just say? My love for her burnt so hot that you could melt all the snow on this mountain. Oh. Then what is this secret you mention? Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. I fucking called it. I literally called it. Well, obviously she wouldn't want old Lady Bikini to know about it, right? About our hot and sour, bittersweet love affair. Hot and sour? Alright, then why did you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? Give me a break, it's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes, yeesh. Why were you so quick to apologize, pal? It's because Edgy gave me that scary look of his. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it? That's what all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive. Well, I don't know either. I guess the thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Fuck's sake. Hey, come on, don't let it get you down. But Mr. Edgeworth, this guy's still hiding something, I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago. You really want to know last night? I saw something incredible. He's right. Larry, What? Why are you looking at me like a hungry dog that just found a bone, man? What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry. One way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge. Yes, and I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. The time. What doesn't? That's all there is to your story. Your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I do believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. What? When? Where? Why? How? Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you had anything with Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. God damn, he's got more locks. Are you fucking kidding, Larry? Jesus, Larry! What have you done? No! What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again? Why are you glaring at me like I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning? Just about had it with this Harlequin. If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. TBC? Oh my, Mr. Reese feels that way about me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Would he not? And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident... Man, it's really hard to forcibly pronounce your T's. How do people do this? Like, my default accent doesn't do T's. I glottal, like, every T because I'm from Yorkshire. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird how, like... how trying to break out of a standard accent is trickier than you realise. Everyone has their own little nuanced way of speaking. Mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? No. I believe that nun will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donim, correct? That's correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed... Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. With which I have been entrusted. Come on, Edgeworth, you're meant to be posh! Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. Man, imagine if it was that fucking easy. The prosecutor doesn't turn up and you just get an innocent verdict. The mafia would have a fucking field day. I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant... Hold it!
Objection!
Whoa, wait, what? Who is this? Who is this? We don't know her. What the fuck? I was expecting Godot to just fucking slide in with his like, oh, I was just getting 50 cups of coffee, Your Honor. Who is this? The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Was he in the was he in the second game? That name sort of loosely rings a bell. Man, I'll have to finish the second game at some point now. I don't want to do it back to back after this one, but I suppose we'll have to, like, for completeness sake, go through it. Legends are a thing of the past. I'm a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, huh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man amongst those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't, but I'm sure once before this... I told you there is no such weakling. What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip and...
Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible. The murdered victim is the famed picture book author Miss Elisto Nim. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well, the court accepts this photo of the crime scene. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. Can we have a little look at that again? Interesting. It is weird, isn't it? So there's two things weird about this. And one of them just could be an oversight by the game developers. I'm not sure if it's a real clue or not. So, first, the hand holding the sword if you stabbed her with the sword, how would you get it back in the hand of the statue? Like, something about that just feels fucking wrong, right? Because that's a closed hand. Secondly, I thought this was a 7-branched sword, and I see 5 branches. So either they just sort of like didn't draw all 7 branches, or the implication is that that sword goes very deep into the snow. But it almost feels like, could she have died from the fall and then they've pushed her up onto the sword and then moved snow beneath it? I mean, it's a lot of fucking work. Feels weird, but like you would dig out a patch of snow, slide her under, lift her up onto the sword blade, and then pack the snow around her again. It's a very weird picture, and I'm not sure if I'm, again, just overthinking that. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there was a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't believe they did a day like that. That's amazing. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on here, I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Huzzah! Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Nah! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? There's no need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way Dearest Lyris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? Wow, he went very Canadian. All of a sudden, super Canadian. I can't do a good Canadian accent. That's not going to happen. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. But, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up. Violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I'd finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There is only one important... bollocks. Bollocks. There is only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Okay. Let's do a cheeky little save. and then we're going to press on all these statements because there's no penalty for us at the moment. So let's get some more info. What is this inner temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam. In order to do that, display strong and spiritual power is required. And there's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. How exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor, watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip, in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple, where the murder took place?
Hold it!
Violently? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off.
Hold it!
You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The Acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the Acolytes so that they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct? Yes, she's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions.
Hold it!
So you returned to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath. Bath sounds so weird coming out of my mouth. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do-or-be-done-in kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? This is why you have to watch the young ones. Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. There's some sort of kick-me sign stuck to the defense's bench. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand. So...
Hold it!
The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. It's going to be something to do with the time. Let's have a little look at what evidence we have that we could present. So, she was helping the Acolyte with their training in the Inner Temple. Her battle's wrapped up. She left Iris to help the Acolyte. Wait, didn't she call Iris? That's different, right? She told Iris to meet her there. But then I guess she's saying that Iris was already there. She hasn't said anything about the time. Because she told Iris to ring the bells at 10 and then head to the inner temple, right? Hmm. As it says, when he rang lights out bell at 10 p.m. and was then in her room until the murder was discovered. So I guess we could present Iris's testimony. It's not really evidence, but it's testimony. Let's see what happens if we present Iris's testimony. I mean, there's a clear contradiction there.
Objection!
Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests upon their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazuko Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. Discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No, she said that. Defendant or a witness, who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back.
Objection!
But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazuko Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. Wow, get dunked on, bitch! That's why he's the fucking top prosecutor. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Is this going to be one of those things where it's like Iris had her hood up, will be revealed, and we'll be like, well, she gave her hood away. All people lie, that is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, you're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Okay. Sure. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. And please add your comments and boot Iris to the testimony. I love the aboot thing. Let me just get that down, pat. I'm not mocking. I like it. I think it's cute when Canadians say aboot. It's also funny. It's great. It's nice to have a little thing that's all your own. Embrace it, is what I say. Embrace the aboot. It's great. What did I watch? What's that film I watched that's got oh my god. It's got Lily Depp and Harlequin. She got Harley Quinn Smith, Kevin Smith's daughter. Oh my god! And they play. They're the cashiers in the thing. I know they crop up in like. Is it Tusk? They crop up in, but there's like a. Is it Hosiers? Hoosiers? Something like that. That was a really funny film. I like that a lot. It's so dumb. Okay. Let's return to the cross-examination. Lily Rose Depp. That's Johnny Depp's daughter, right? Lily Rose Depp. And Harley Quinn Smith. I'm sure she's called Harley Quinn Smith. Okay. That night. Oh, is this a new statement? That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. Oh no, we've done this. We've got to find something more. Ah! Iris came to the. This is it. Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Bollocks, because she gave her hood to Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met. She was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Oh, wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Ms. Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order in the court. Ah, bollocks. Sister, this hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. So then anyone could have been wearing the fucking hood then, right? I see, a stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. And this is quite strange. Ah! If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Ms. Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath, on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, Mr. Khalees, and with that sword of all things. Also, that shows her getting stabbed in the back. Oh yeah, she was face down. Okay, that's fine. Mr. Khalees was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. How do you know that? How do you know she was pushed out of a window? How do you know she was pushed out of a window? No one said that yet, right? No one said she was pushed out of a window. We only know that because of the autopsy report. That's weird. I'm calling that weird. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Ms. Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? So there's a few things to pick at here. The timing, the fact that she knows she was pushed out the window. The fact she saw I was doing it, but she might not have been doing it.
Hold it!
How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. Really, because it's about 20 minutes from the temple to the bridge. That was what Phoenix said. And she's got a bad back. That seems like bollocks. She's not making that with a bad back. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall.
Hold it!
Say you heard a noise. Thump, just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Oh, bollocks. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and...
Hold it!
This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Yeah, was she wearing the hood? Yeah, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Tell me she was a redhead. Tell me she was a redhead. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood. Okay. Her hood? That's right, it's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing a hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Ha! You dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? It's important. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like to add these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't appear to have a hood on.
Hold it!
You are sure about that? Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. I don't mean because we're poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it. There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip. At least then it might bite you and not someone else. Nah, Iris didn't have a hood on, I'm sure of it. Very well. Now please tell us about the victim, eh? Mr. Cleese was staying in the corner room.
Hold it!
The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor. No, Hasegawa Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back. About the height of a two-story building. Ah, interesting. I see, and the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all. Okay.
Hold it!
What makes you so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? A thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep. I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hasegawa Temple. There's only 2 of them working there. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark? It doesn't feel like she is lying. This is very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the incident in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I can believe in right now. My client Iris and my own abilities as a defense attorney. Oh, it only has 6 branches. I guess the 7th branch is the tip. So are we presenting the fact that the statue is holding the sword? It's still fairly deep into her, isn't it? If we assume that, like, this... The next one must be, like, right here. I guess it's not that deep as we thought initially. We'll get a save. I don't know if this is a contradiction or not, but... I mean, it feels like it should be. Oh. That's a dead end. Deserve our life, because a lot of the time this game is brutal with not healing us. Okay, now that you mentioned I didn't have a hood on. Mr. Cleese was staying in the corner room. I mean, is there like a world where she either was pushed or fell out of the window and landed on the sword, and Iris tried to pull the sword out of her back, I don't believe that for a second, but you've got to consider all the possibilities, right? Anything that isn't impossible must be considered. Because I don't... if she's saying she full-on fucking saw her do it, then we have to accept the fact that she could have seen her pulling the sword out. But that still doesn't fully make sense. Okay, I know what we've got her on. Where's the autopsy report? She was already dead by 11.
Objection!
Don't think there's a problem with it. She's saying she finished her bath at 11 and then had time to go down to the courtyard where she saw the murder happening after 11 and the body was killed between 10 and 11. You don't think there's a problem with that? How can there not be a problem with that? That is incorrect testimony. She's saying the murder happened after 11, and the autopsy report says that cannot be true. 10 to 11. Loss of blood from stabbing the back. She has to be stabbed no later than 11. No later than 11, right? I finished my bath around 11. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. This is bollocks. This is clearly bollocks. I just don't know how to prove it. Surely this isn't like we call her out and being able to hear the thud because there was thunder. I don't buy that for a second. The fact that Iris claims to be... I mean, we've already kind of contradicted her with Iris's testimony. But I don't see what else we can contradict her with. Okay. Well, I'm a little confused. So let's go to the walkthrough, because I don't really understand what we're meant to be contradicting her on if it's not the obvious fucking time discrepancy. Okay. After my bath cross-examination. Press the third statement. We did that, though. Did we not? Did we not press this statement? We did, didn't we? This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. Some doubt remains in these claims. Did we not do this? I'm sure we did. The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Yeah, as clearly as you can, because this mentions about the hood. Am I just treading old ground again here? This doesn't make sense. This does not match the walkthrough. The walkthrough says press that statement and she'll admit that she saw the sword being pulled out. But that's not the statement we've got. Maybe we just pressed the hood?
Hold it!
Did we not press that? Yeah, we did. We already pressed that. This is a pickle, isn't it? How do we get her to tell us about the sword? How strange. Oh, no, this is a different part. Present the autopsy report on the 5th statement. We presented it on the wrong statement. So it's not the time, it's here. Oh, because... of course, I see. Body fell 10 for after death. Yeah. Oh, I see. Right evidence, wrong detail. I mean, it's still wrong, but sure.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway. No, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think that you are overlooking one thing. Ms. Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right. It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? I love that she's just stacked on the milk crates. Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. She was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below.
Objection!
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Donim's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a bloodstain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. The whip has just caused traces of blood to be found in my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, the weapon's still in place. It acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion, then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order! I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. Locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please. Remain standing on the crate. Federico is selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mr. Gillies. I fucking told you. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mr. Gamey was stabbing Mr. Gillies through the back. I'm sorry, who? Oh, Mr. Gamey. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Francesca Von Karma, and I'm here to teach you just that. Okay, well, we already know to press on the third statement now. So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it has splattered onto Iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman getting stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out. Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. I mean, that's bollocks. Because the sword only had blood on the tip, right? I remember that much.
Objection!
Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Objection!
Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, so should I so choose. The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit.
Objection!
That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection!
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection!
I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You've still got more. This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, then why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that. But what does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shito. What? Foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mr. Gamey was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. Influenced us to believe that the Shito was the murder weapon. So maybe the Shito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw into the pile. Trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Oh, excuse me. Could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking. It's possible that just maybe what actually happened was... it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. What? Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Possible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. and after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape, what with my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it is certainly an interesting theory. Tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple, and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. She really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon. Sir Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Okay. How do we deal with this obviously bollocks testimony? Saw the murder around 11. But surely she would have bumped into Phoenix Wright if that was the case. Going there on the snowmobile and coming back. Coming back, she would have bumped into Phoenix. Right? At the very least, he would have heard a snowmobile. I don't know how we prove that. It was snowing, so the tracks would have been snowed in. There's a couple of things. I don't think she mentions the tracks though, so.
Hold it!
You are sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, now could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Well, how did you know it was 11? That's what I want to know. Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. After asking that it be reported, who did you ask to report it? Who else was there? You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime. Now do we get this added to the testimony? Right, the one who trampled me. It seems she is the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. That's it. This is where we get her, right? Because it was snowing. But I suppose, like, if it had been used immediately, then there would be tracks. But they wouldn't... Surely they would have been filled in by the time it was checked the next day on the photo. God, it's such a fucking fiddly statement, isn't it? Oh, taken that night. Okay, well that's fine then.
Hold it!
As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it, that's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. That doesn't make sense. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at that time? No, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Mouse Edgeworth? Playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses. It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. That's still 10 minutes, though. So she would still have, like, passed Phoenix. Unless she's saying she went and came back. Something about that doesn't add up.
Hold it!
In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. There's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch! Crunch. I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it.
Hold it!
How long were you knocked out for? Yeah. Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. Okay. So her claim is she went out, saw the body, passed out, flopped out in the snow. Iris, fuck, it happened. Iris went and hid the murder weapon on the snowmobile, came back, and then Phoenix Wright turns up and you send him. But none of that adds up because the lightning on the bridge, if this took place at 11 like you said, the bridge would already be burned out by the time Phoenix got there. And I don't know how we prove that. It's possible to get back to the... bollocks. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? How do I prove that this took place before 11? Can we just present the lightning strike on here? I mean, I know that's the contradiction, but it's like whether the game will accept it this early or whether we've got to get to that via some other means. You're just saying you saw the murder at 11. Yeah, if that's the case, where's the fucking weather report? If that's the case, lightning struck the Dusky Bridge at 10:45. About 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. So at 11:15, the bridge was done. But she's saying it takes 15 minutes to get there, right? So she's saying she saw the murder at 11. She passed out till 10 past 11. Phoenix Wright turns up. She sends him to the bridge. He'd get there at 11:25 at best. But the fire would have gone out 10 minutes before that. Right? So this is a contradiction.
Objection!
Fuck me, it's not going to allow it. Come on, game. Fine, I'm going to press the last statement.
Hold it!
While it would have been possible time-wise, one element remains out of place here. It was snowing and she didn't have a hood? Oh, and what would this mystery element be? Killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma. Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? Jesus, over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Yeah, but where? What are we picking at if it's not the time? Do I present it on the 15-minute walk? Let's try that.
Objection!
Nope. Okay. Walkthrough time. Present the tracks on the 5th or 6th statement. They're going to say that this should have been snowed in. Who took this photo on the night of the murder? It looks fine. I don't see what's wrong with that, so that's interesting.
Objection!
I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? I mean, that's ridiculous. You could come back along the same track. Come on now. What do you mean? I was left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Sure, okay. Okay, buddy. No, you're right. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. And it was snowing. And it was snowing. So the initial track could have been snowed out by the time this photo was taken. See? I'm too good for the game. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? The idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. Just the fact that it was snowing all night, I guess. But, like, it depends how heavy it was fucking snowing, doesn't it, really? And when the photo was taken. We don't know any of this fucking info. The tracks of the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all of the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Ms. Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? And now we want the weather report.
Take that!
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Oh, finally we're getting the time. Like I said, it was around 11. And of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped around 10:50. Oh. Even better than we thought. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. But, very well then. It looks like Ms. Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this, then. When is a weather report ever correct? No, you got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Forecast data or weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. She's got a point. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. We need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far, there's no turning back now. There's no snow on the victim! I swear to God, if that's not the answer, I'll be pissed. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where's your evidence that it had already stopped snowing? The photo of the fucking victim with no snow on the bitch. How about that? How about that? Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Ms. Elise Donim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order! Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I am not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because these tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in a room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. Iris said that she never went there. I'll probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. But then she would have seen it on her way back, right? That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. It was covered in snow? But that isn't possible. Order in the court. What does all this mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Oh my god. Wait. Wait a minute. I've got an idea. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but maybe? Yes, I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps, near Dusky Bridge on that night? Here's what I'm thinking. Fucking Bellend, Larry Butts, blackmailed Iris, right? Or we didn't really blackmail, but you know what I mean. He asked her to meet him at the Heavenly Hall at 10 o'clock, right? So what about this? He goes there to meet her. She doesn't show. He's realized at this point there's no electricity or heating. He's not going to stay there overnight. He walks back. Let's say he waits until, I don't know, 10:30 or some shit. Even 10:45, whatever. Realizes she's not going to show. Heads up to the bridge. Sees the snowmobile there because she left it there when she went to the inner temple. Just fucking drives it back because he doesn't give a shit. How about that? No, I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. See? That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that Sabbatic night. Your Honor, actually there just might be one individual who maybe have helped us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. But there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. And he saw the lightning strike the bridge, right? So we know he came back after the snow stopped. It's him. He drove the fucking snowmobile back. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Larry Butts. This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc Deladuc's Guide to Obnoxious Friends Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Donim. A student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. TBC. And it is TBC, because that's where I'm going to call lunch. I'm going to go get some eats. I may be back after lunch, it's highly likely. And if I am, we'll be doing some Hitman Hokkaido. As well as Beholder. I should probably do Beholder as well. So if you fancy that, I'll see you in a little over half an hour. If I don't show, then it's because I ended up having some work after all. We'll see. Alright, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I will see you later. Bye.